All right, today we're diving into something that can make or break your experience with any piece of software: efficiency. Exactly. It's that invisible thing that decides if your phone's battery makes it through the day, or if that new app you downloaded feels super quick or just painfully slow. So let's get right into it. Oh, this is so familiar, right? I mean, we've all been there. You get a new app, you're excited to use it, and then you're hit with this. Why is my battery drained so fast? Or why is this thing so slow? It's honestly one of the most frustrating things about using our devices.
And not frustration, it has a technical name: inefficiency. The definition is actually pretty straightforward. Good software just shouldn't waste your device's resources, things like memory and processing power. It's really all about being smart and, well, efficient with the limited power you've got on your phone or computer.
Yeah, and efficiency isn't just about is it fast? It's actually a combination of a few different things.
Right. Like responsiveness. That's when you tap something and it reacts instantly, No lag. Then you've got processing time, which is how long it takes to, say, save a photo. And memory utilization. That's the one that makes your whole phone feel sluggish because one app is hogging everything. And then there's the big one, just general resource usage. That's what's killing your battery.
So really, what it all boils down to is this. Efficiency is that invisible magic that makes software feel amazing. It's what makes it fast, smooth, and just reliable. You don't even think about it when it's working well, but oh boy, you definitely feel it when it's not.
Exactly. And it's so important to get that this isn't just some optional, nice-to-have feature. It's absolutely fundamental. I mean, look at this table of what makes good software. Efficiency is right there, a core attribute, on the same level as things like security and dependability. It doesn't matter how many bells and whistles an app has. If it's not efficient, people are just going to stop using it.
And that lack of efficiency has huge real-world consequences for all of us. I mean, for the user, it's pretty obvious, right? It's a slow, super frustrating experience. Your battery dies, the app crashes, it's just bad.
And for the company that made the app, all that user frustration turns into a huge headache. We're talking high maintenance costs, a terrible reputation. But if you get it right, well, efficient software means happy, loyal users. And it's so much more cost-effective to maintain and improve down the line.
And that's the key takeaway here. You can't just sprinkle some efficiency dust on at the end. It's not an afterthought. It has to be baked in from the very beginning, treated as a core requirement. It's what we call a non-functional requirement, which is a fancy way of saying it's not about what the software does, but how well it does it. And that how well gets decided really, really early on. We're talking about the fundamental design, the architecture of the software. And it's all about trade-offs. So, for example, you might build in extra layers for security, which is great, but every single layer adds a little bit of overhead, a tiny bit of slowness. Or maybe you want to make sure your app is super reliable, so you add redundant parts, but that's going to use up more memory, more battery. Every decision is this constant balancing act between all these different priorities. Okay, so it's all about planning from the start. I get that. But how do they know? Like, how can a developer be sure the software is actually efficient before it gets out to millions of people like me? Are they just guessing and hoping for the best until we all start complaining online? Haha, no, definitely not guesswork. There's a whole rigorous testing process. It happens in stages. First, you have development testing, where the engineers are testing their own little pieces of the code. Then you have release testing, where a whole separate team comes in to test the entire system to make sure it all works together.
And then there's the most important part, right? User testing. That's when they let actual users try it out in their own homes, on their own spotty Wi-Fi, on their older phones, to find all the weird issues that you just can't predict in a perfect lab environment.
And there's a huge financial reason for all of this testing. It's all about catching problems early, because the cost to fix a bug just explodes the later you find it. Think about this. Fixing a problem after it's already been released to the public can cost up to 100 times more than fixing it way back in the design phase.
100 times. Wow. That's a massive difference.
Exactly. So getting it right from the start isn't just about making a good product. It's just smart business. And that cost doesn't just go away. It sticks around for the entire life of the software. I like to think of inefficient code as a house built on a really shaky, messy foundation. Now imagine trying to add a new room to that house, or a new feature to the app. It's going to be a huge, expensive nightmare. And if you look at this chart,
you can see that most of the work done on software after it's released, a full 65%, is adding new stuff. If your foundation is bad, all of that work becomes incredibly difficult and costly. And that really brings everything full circle, right back to us, the people actually using the app. Because at the end of the day, for us, efficiency is the experience. It's not some tech jargon. It's everything. It's the basis for whether we're satisfied, whether we trust the app, and ultimately, it's the reason we'll choose to keep using it or delete it and find something better.
Well said. Ultimately, efficiency isn't really about code or processors. It's about respecting the user, respecting their time, their device's battery, and their patience.
So here's a little challenge for you. The next time you're using an app and it just feels seamless, it just works. Pause for a second and ask yourself, what invisible, brilliant engineering is making this feel so effortless?